Go live, go live.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
My name is Grogu. Recognize.
You too?
Recognize. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Empire 161, episode number 20 to be exact. That's right. It's a milestone. It's a milestone for us. My name is Tim. Next to me is my friend Utini Ed. What's going on, Ed?
Utini!
It's another great episode went by. We have a lot to talk about. No baseball news this week. Shockingly enough, still free agent market still really, really slow.
Silence.
I did see one thing I wanted to tell you real quick though. One of those random Yankee pages on Facebook said that we should trade for Kyle Schwarber, and I started laughing. I'm just like, we have how many outfielders, and you want to trade for Kyle Schwarber of all people? I was going to send it to you. I was like, you know what? I didn't want to annoy you. I didn't want to annoy you with that nonsense.
And do what with him?
That's what I said.
And do what with him?
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. And the first sentence was, "Oh, even though Giancarlo Stanton's like, stop right there, stop,
That's enough.
just stop. Don't go any further."
Yeah.
And then it was instead of trying to get Lindor, maybe what's his name, Javier Baez. Is he a shortstop?
Yeah, he is. He's the Cubs shortstop.
Yeah, it was all about the Cubs. All about the Cubs. We should make 3 trades with the Cubs. And Javier Baez was the. I was like, just stop, please, people.
Why are the Cubs trading Javier Baez? That's the thing that kills me with like fans with some trades. They don't think of the other end. It's like you think the Cubs are just sitting around and waiting for us to say, "Oh yeah, just give us Javier Baez," and that's it.
Yeah, Hanson, you better sign off now because we're about to get spoilerific here.
Yes, I'm very disappointed in you. You had the whole weekend to watch it. What's going on over there? But yeah, happy Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah, you too, man. But you said you better get out of here now because we're about to get all nuts up in here with the episode, or chapter, I should say, number 13 of The Mandalorian. Another stellar episode to which, since I was off all week, I did get up at 3 a.m. this time. I couldn't wait. I had to see it for myself. I had to see if it was true, if the rumors were true, because remember, Rosario Dawson was really never 100% confirmed.
Uh-huh.
Ahsoka was never 100%. Well, that's all we knew about last week's episode, though.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up. And I was up, and I saw the first 5 minutes. Like, this episode wasted 0 time, which is what I love. None of that wait till the last 5 minutes of the episode nonsense. We got right into the juicy part of this episode. So it was pretty awesome. And right off the bat, what were your comments in the first 10 minutes of this episode already?
Similar to kind of what you were just saying. I was
Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. Yes, happy belated Turkey Day. Tommy. I know he enjoyed the Cowboys getting their asses kicked on Thanksgiving. We were texting about it, but we won't waste time with them. No, I mean, I was pretty impressed too that they came out like guns blazing. Like it started off like action packed immediately, and she's going through taking out those troopers and everything, and that was pretty sick, man. Especially for someone who's doesn't really have a lot of. I haven't seen her much. I haven't, and then I see like badasses just going around taking out troopers in the dark and stuff, very stealth, like ninja-like and stuff. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say for you, this is your first Ahsoka ever.
Well, really. Well, I mean, let's see. Like, I've heard the name. Obviously, we talked about it on here. We've chatted about it. I've read it. I've done some homework on her. I tried to watch the Clone Wars movie when she was, so I knew she was introduced. And then I tapped out in the middle of the Clone Wars movie, which I'll probably go back to at some point. But I will say, though, after watching this episode twice, on Saturday afternoon when there wasn't jack on, I decided to start. I went back to rewatching the series. Watching the series. I watched the first episode, and then I was out of it, and I knocked out. I'm up to like 7 or 8 of season 1. So she's well into her Sky Guy stuff and things like that. But
she gets a lot better. Let's just put it that way. Because right now she's just a kid. She gets a lot better Yeah, let's just put it that way. She gets a lot better. I didn't like her at first either, especially in the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars movie is not as good as the show. The Clone Wars movie was a little kiddish, which I don't mind kiddish, but it was a little, it was a little too little Jabbas and Sky Guy.
That whole thing. Yeah, I couldn't get behind that whole thing, and I mean, whatever. Again, I'll get bored one day and go back and finish the movie, but I decided to jump into the series because I did watch the first episode, and I didn't stop watching because it was boring. I just started picking up other stuff, but after watching this twice, I'm like, something. Mandalorian is leaning heavily into this stuff now, so I better stop just reading and start watching more. So I ended up knocking out, like I said, I think it was like 6 episodes straight. Just
nice.
Binge one after another.
I did tell you that you can avoid anything where you see R2 and 3PO on the screen for more than the first 5 minutes. That means it's an R2 episode, 3PO. It's not good. It's not fun.
Well, I will say though, the last episode that I saw before we can do Clone Wars stuff at some point, but I saw an episode where he was missing, and then like Anakin goes to rescue him and stuff like that, and he ends up battling off against an R3 unit and everything. It was kind of weird, but it was showing like R2 being badass again, which was pretty cool.
Well, we know he's the MVP.
Always.
So we always know that, so that's not a big deal.
Always.
So let's jump into this episode. I said we were just talking about it. There weren't a lot of Easter eggs. There was just a lot of meat. Not a lot of side dishes, but a ton of meat in this episode. Yeah. Like we said, it starts off right off the bat. This dark foresty world. Guys running through the forest. You can't really see nothing. All of a sudden, here come the 2 lightsabers. As you can see, not red, not blue, not green, not purple. They're kind of a grayish white color, which she turned her lightsabers into because she's not a Jedi. She's technically not a Jedi. She left the Order. She was unhappy with them towards the end. She feels bad now that they're all dead. That's for damn sure. But all of a sudden, like I said, that first shot when she comes through and you see her face with the lightsabers, it was like, holy shit, it's real. And that's why I was like, all right, I know I got to get up. I was laying down watching. And then when I saw her face for the first time, I was like, oh, shit, it's real. I got to get up. Got up, took a pee, grabbed a drink. I was like, now I'm up. Now I'm going to have to watch it. And she ends up, looks like she's pretty much on a freedom quest. Looks like she's freeing cities or freeing slaves or helping the downtrodden throughout the galaxy, which makes sense as to what she's going to be doing from as far as her story goes. That's what she does. So yeah, right off the bat, what'd you think of her skills, her badassery?
No, she was like super badass. Like I said, it was like very much like a ninja with like the 2 swords and everything like that. Very stealth, pretty sick. I mean, from the live action stuff, I haven't seen too much of that from a Jedi in the past or a former Jedi, whatever. I know that's probably spoiler stuff for Rebels at that point. Because I'm from the videos you posted too. I'm guessing that's where that happens, where she leaves the Jedi Order. But that was pretty sick. Her fighting style was pretty cool. I'm curious to know how much of that Rosario Dawson did do, or how much of that was stunt double. That was
one of the funniest things is, like I said, and that's why it's like one of those nerd dreams come true. She wanted to play Ahsoka 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her saying to George Lucas back in the day, if you ever make a movie, a Clone Wars movie with Ahsoka, I want to play her. And everyone's like, oh my God, that'd be great. But it ain't ever going to happen. And holy shit, here she is. And like I said, it is a absolute perfect, as far as I'm concerned, casting, other than the actual original Ahsoka. We don't know if she can act, that girl, though. She's a great voice actress, but whether she can act, we don't know.
Rosario Dawson looks exactly, I mean, I know they tweaked her look a little bit, but she really looks like, the animated Ahsoka Tano, brought right to life. So I think that's where you go. Plus, she's a really good actress too, so you can't go wrong with that.
Exactly. Well, after Ahsoka takes care of all the guards on the outside wall, we get our first look at the episode's villains. The first one is Morgan Elsbeth, who, again, Clone Wars connections, Rebels connections. I don't remember the entire background. I myself am going to have to go back and look into that. Played, though, which is very interesting enough, by Diana Lee Inosanto, goddaughter of the one and only Bruce Lee. You heard it right. The Bruce Lee, which is actually pretty freaking awesome. I mean, how awesome was that connection?
That's an Easter egg. No, that qualifies for it.
You're right. You're right. That is an Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
So Ahsoka basically gives her an ultimatum. Says if you don't free these people by day and get out, pack your shit and leave or whatever, I'll be back. But this chick didn't seem afraid, man. I give her credit for being a badass. Yeah. She wasn't afraid at all. And as far as her right hand man goes, which was another, again, we're getting phenomenal cameos. And I want to know, are they asking these people to be in it, or are the people asking to be on the show? Because of course we got none other than Mr. Kyle himself, Mr. Johnny Ringo himself, Michael Biehn from Terminator fame, from Tombstone fame,
Aliens,
plays her right-hand man, Aliens, plays her right-hand man Lang, who right away when I saw his face and I heard his voice, I was like, holy shit, we got another great cameo here. I was kind of hoping, well, spoiler ahead, jump ahead. He lasted a lot longer than he did, but the way he went out was absolutely fantastic. Again, a callback to another of his movies. So I knew right away this was going to be a great episode. Once you see Michael Biehn and this other, and Bruce Lee's goddaughter, that's what we want to call her for now. But yeah, what'd you think when you saw Michael Biehn and that was him?
Dude, I love Terminator and how much I love Alien, so I was super excited. I remember reading that he was going to be in it, but totally forgot about it. And so I saw him on screen. I'm like, holy shit, that's right. Michael Bihn's in this. And I mean, as like her right-hand man, gunslinger, like so awesome. So awesome.
Tommy, I recommend you look up certain episodes. Look up Mandalorian stuff. Look up Ahsoka stuff. It'll kind of skip the crap and get you to the juicy, meaty parts if you don't want to watch the whole thing. And yes, Ahsoka was badass. Anyway, we cut to the titles. We come back to the ship, and there they are, our heroes. The Mandalorian, and, well, at that time, he was still the child. We'll refer to him as the
child at that moment.
We'll still call him the child for this moment. They land in the city. Right off the bat, he just walks himself in. Again, I can't talk today. The lone gunslinger shot. The door is open. He walks in right down the street like not a care in the world. Mm-hmm. He gets met by Michael Biehn, Mandalorian, just the prime minister, what the hell she was called, wants to see you. They meet right away, and she tries to get to him right away. It's a Jedi. Mandalorian Jedi are natural enemies. If you kill her, I will present you with this big, gigantic staff of Beskar, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. He never says yes. He never says no.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of says, and walks away. So
he was very careful. Yeah, he was very careful about his wording there. And you can kind of tell, like, obviously he went there looking for Ahsoka Tano, and that's where, like, he was like, saw the end. Like, okay, I can get this whole thing done. I can get the information from her. I can go ahead and find out and get out of here and get to her. So why not? I thought it was interesting, too, is that when he's walking through that whole little, like, village or whatever the heck it was exactly, like, he was trying to talk to people, and they were like, don't talk to us and stuff like that. Like, you're going to get us in trouble. And he walks by and he sees people, like, in these, like, little cells and stuff. Look like they were being electrocuted or something like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. Yeah, pretty intense stuff going on there.
It was. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And then he had the child with him, though, in his, like,
in his pouch.
His satchel. We're not going to call it a purse, whatever the hell it was. But he was in there, like, hidden. And I was kind of curious to know, like, if this villain sees the child, are they going to, like, attack him or something like that? I don't know.
Well, Michael Biehn saw him, and the great line was, what's that? He's like, I keep it for luck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Keep it for luck.
Great.
So, like I said, he never agrees, because we know if he agreed, he would have to go kill her. But he never agreed. He just kind of nodded and walked off and said, all right, let me go try to find this Jedi. They said they gave him coordinates. Next shot is him and the child out in these creepy-ass, smoky dead woods. And boom, here she comes out of nowhere. She jumps his ass. They got to do a nice cool little fight. She shows off her skills. He shows off his with the fire, with the rope. Mm-hmm. But, she's a Jedi. Finally, he's like, yo, hold on. Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me. And that's where everything calms down. And I think my favorite line of hers right away was, I hope you're here to talk about him. Yeah. And I pan over to the child just sitting there chilling like he always does when Mando gets into fights. He just sits there chilling, doing what he can. And the one other big Easter egg was in that forest scene right before she does jump out. There was an owl-like figure. It's called a moray. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. It's up in the tree. You can see it. This owl always came to represent Ahsoka in Clone Wars and Rebels. It always seemed to appear when she was around. So that's like one of those, again, call back to the, yes, Gil, you should be here, Gil. I invited you, but you had to work. I get it.
Sucks.
Yeah, so that's the one major Easter egg, except for Michael Biehn, that I really saw was the moray. Like I said, she's represented by an owl whenever she was on the Rebels, and that there was always this owl that would pop up, kind of like her representation or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, what's the deal with that? Is that like her, for a Game of Thrones reference, is that like her direwolf or something that's like always around somewhere?
I have it right here. I had it. They explained it better here. It debuted during Star Wars Rebels, appeared multiple times, and it's kind of like it also showed itself to that's the key in the last episode of Clone Wars when they brought the show back when Disney Plus first launched. Darth Vader finds her lightsabers in the snow, and you see the owl in the corner, kind of representing her. So it kind of revealed himself to Vader. Yeah. I think Vader knew from the owl that she was still alive. Kind of revealed. The backstory is hard to explain if you don't watch it. Ezra Bridger from Rebels had this. I don't know. It's hard to explain without sounding too crazy. He discovered the world between worlds. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Well, you can basically jump into other time and space. You're gonna call it, I guess. I guess you can call it that. But then it gets into the whole Mortis and the father. You can't even really explain what it is. Let's just say that Al represents it. Because again, I'll end up talking about 15 episodes of the Clone Wars and Rebels. Okay. If we get into it too deeply. So yeah, at this point, it's a nice little cutaway of Ahsoka having a conversation with the child. Mando walks off. He's giving them their privacy. Comes back, and here's the first final. We get to hear the name where she says Grogu, and I tell you, I told you, Ed. Yeah, I laughed my ass off because I had to stop, rewind, and put on the subtitles because we have a friend named Grogan, and I would have swore that she said Grogan, and I went, please tell me that our friend's about to get nerd famous with this kid being named Grogan. I had to rewind it, and it said Grogu, and the best was he said Grogu. And the kid shot a look at him, gave him a little noise, and she goes, yeah, that's his name. And he goes, Grogu, and boom, again, shot the look up at him. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really cool moment. So we finally get the name. I did watch Rebels. Hard to explain that. Yes, it's very hard time to explain the Albas without talking about Mortis, the father, the son, the daughter, the in-between worlds. It gets a little crazy. Well, Gil, we would just wait until we introduce Grogu. Now that we've announced he's Grogu, he'll be Grogu from now on.
Yes, from now on, henceforth, he is Grogu. I thought it was really cool though, but like how that reveal came out because
Grogu.
Hello, Grogu. How they were how Ahsoka and now Grogu were sitting there, and you could tell that they were talking in a way, but like no words were being spoken. So I guess through Jedi abilities and stuff like that, like they're having a conversation and stuff, and that's how she turns and like is reveals the name and everything, and it starts. If you want to go ahead, gives the whole backstory that we finally get for Grogu now, which I thought was extremely interesting.
Yeah, considering he's 50 years old, he's been around a while. He's been around long enough to see the Clone Wars and the rise of the Empire, and supposedly he was in the temple when Anakin and Darth Vader and the 501st showed up and started killing everybody. No. And some Jedi Master wasn't named. Took him and hid him, got him out of the temple and hid him somewhere, and he was living on his own basically. And he kind of had like a memory loss. They said too.
Yeah, because people saying, she said she tried to check into his memories after that, and it got very dark.
Yeah, very dark, very black. She's probably trying to suppress him, and he also did everything he could to suppress his force powers, so nobody would find him. So how the Empire, Gideon found out about him, again, I'm sure that'll be mentioned much later on.
Yeah.
But just the fact, like you said, we got a great backstory about him now. Now we know he was in the temple. I'm sure he's going to pop up now in some kind of special edition. They'll put him in the temple. They'll put him in that room where Anakin walks in and kills all the kids. They'll put him in the corner or something stupid like that. But yeah, I thought that was a fascinating part. They said he was trained by many masters.
Yeah. So Grogu has training. We know where he came from now. We know his name, obviously. My big question is who got him out of there? And I'm assuming that's going to play a big part in the story at some point. We're going to find out who got him out of the Jedi Temple when Order 66 was going down and the Jedi were getting wiped out.
Well, plus it's good too because even Ahsoka says it later on. There aren't that many Jedi left.
Yes.
So now we know her. We know Luke, obviously. Ezra Bridger from Rebels is out there somewhere, and I have a feeling we're going to get him next. He might be the next big reveal guy. But like you said, if someone else escaped from the temple, who else is out there? And not only is he out there, but did Vader get a hold of him yet during the Purge?
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, Vader went on a lifelong mission to hunt them all down, even the ones that escaped. So that's a whole nother television series, if you're asking me. I think they should call it Vader the Purge and just have him kill people every week. But that's wishful thinking. So yeah, we got that great backstory. We get everything, and Mando says, well, here you go. Take this kid. He's yours. No, you're going to train him. And she digs deep into him, and she says, nope, not going to do it. And here we go again with the Anakin Skywalker thing. Too much fear, too much darkness. He's come quite attached to Mando. Looks at him like a father figure. Yeah. So there's no way that she's going to pull him away from him. And, he kind of flips out. Like, what do you mean? You have to do it. Like, I don't take care of this kid any longer. Well, she says, and she makes one of her famous Jedi deals that the Jedi do. If you help me, I'll, consider taking the kid. Well, Mando says it. I'll help you take this, city free. You take the kid and you train him. She agrees. Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I don't know how much she fully committed to that either, but I was also thinking that was also Mando's, hey, I need this. I'm going to do this for you thing of the week. And that's, how he gets into what he has to do for the week.
And it's a famous Jedi, we'll do this, but maybe not kind of thing. So yeah, we cut right to it. Here's Ahsoka again running through the weeds, chopping. She don't even waste any time this time. Mm-hmm. They see her in the mist, and it rings that bell, and all of a sudden, she freaking leaps up from the ground floor up into that balcony and just starts chopping people. And by the way, she's extremely violent. But I guess she's not really a Jedi anymore, so I guess she could do that kind of stuff. But she's extremely violent.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say do you think all those troopers that were there, were they all like robots, or were some of them real and only the robots were the ones that were
the HKs. The HKs, which by the way, is that a Terminator reference?
Yeah, sorry. So you
HK, Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer. HKs is what Kyle Reese refers to as the Terminators in the first Terminator. So I don't know if that was in there. Well, whatever. I do have a piece of thing that I was going to save for later on about the HK stuff. So apparently the ones in this episode are referred to as HK-87s. So
and whether or not HKs were mentioned before in Star Wars, I don't know. They're usually called just assassin droids, kind of like IG-11. So whether HK
I got something for you. I'm saving.
Okay. So whether or not HK was mentioned before, I don't remember. It's
okay.
It could be, could not be. But the fact that it was an episode with Kyle Reese, of course, it's like, oh God, really? You're really pulling out all the stops here, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So another great scene. She takes them out. She's just running through the city, waxing people. And next thing you know, Mando shows up and frees those 3 slaves. And it's just her and what's her name again? What did I say her name was? Yeah, then whatever she was. Whatever her name was. Bruce Lee's goddaughter. Let's just call it that. Mm-hmm. They're on the inside. Lang and Mando are on the outside. And you get this great tombstone revisit of Doc Holliday versus Johnny Ringo, but now it's Mando versus Lang. And again, he has that same line. Like, my fight ain't with you. And the same thing Johnny Ringo said to Doc Holliday. My fight's not with you, so let's think about this for a minute. But yeah, that's a big no-no. He tries to get slick with the Mandalorian, puts him down, puts him down easy. And again, it's that great Western Clint Eastwood spaghetti Western old school fight, which is absolutely fantastic. It's shot well, done well. I'm just sad to see Michael Biehn go already. I was hoping he would get, a bigger part.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome that while we're seeing that whole showdown, and we always talk about the show being a Western and how Mando goes from town to town and everything like that, and that was great, like Tombstone references right there with Michael Biehn. But at the same time, inside though, like in further, we are getting Ahsoka and the Magistrate swearing down.
And what did that remind you of?
Exactly what I was going to. That whole thing, I thought it was really cool how simultaneously went back and forth. It reminded me a lot of like Kill Bill and like very much
exactly
like a martial arts movie. So you had like the Western showdown and you had the martial arts showdown, and like the way the set was and everything like that with the water,
the East and the West. Yep, you had the East and the West showdown.
That was so sick. And what I really love too is that when Ahsoka shows up there, she throws down Mando's shoulder piece of the Beskar.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I skipped the horn. Part. Yeah.
So to make him believe he's dead.
Yeah. She's like, oh, your bounty hunter failed or whatever. And she's like, oh shit. All right. So she took out the Mandalorian. Okay, we're gonna have to do this. And then like that showdown, they throw down, and she's got the staff, the Beskar staff. And I thought it was really interesting because I don't think we've ever really, to my knowledge, it was never shown if Beskar could withstand the lightsaber. And apparently that's the case because he's going toe-to-toe with Ahsoka.
That's why the Mandalorians were such a big rival to the Jedi. Because the Beskar was strongest. Beskar is basically vibranium or adamantium. That's basically that's what that is.
Yeah.
Another great line was, "Oh, you took up with the Jedi." He's like, "Oh, apparently."
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got that shot of Mando with Ahsoka in the background. He looks up and goes like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm done. I'm done. I'm putting my gun down. We're good here. But he tries to do the slick tricks. Mando don't fall for it. Again, that great Tombstone reference, fantastic. And that's the first thing I thought of too. They cut to the inside. You got the slow robe, the robe takeoff, slow walk towards each other. I was like, this is Kill Bill. Like I'm watching Kill Bill now.
Yeah.
Like you said, the East, the West, and she put up one hell of a fight.
Absolutely. She was, that's what I'm saying. They went toe to toe. They were really throwing down in there. And she had Ahsoka's got 2 lightsabers. She's got this friggin' Beskar staff, and it didn't matter. She was really going at it.
And usually I would get mad at that. Because I'm like, well, how can she stand up to a Jedi like that? You can't stand up to a Jedi like that if you don't have the Force. But maybe she has the Force. Maybe she's just that damn good of a fighter. But yeah,
she didn't do anything like, Force-like. She just looked like a really well-trained fighter.
Oh, I'm just saying that, because they're always supposed to be considered faster, stronger. So it's always like, well, how could a normal person stand up to them? But hey, man, she put up one hell of a fight. And it was a great fight, too. Well choreographed, well shot. I'm glad Dave Filoni's getting his due. I think it's about freaking time he got his due as far as directing and stuff. Because he's been the biggest Star Wars fan more than anybody. And, he just wants to put out good shit. And then him and Favreau are doing a phenomenal job with that. And the second big reveal, the huge reveal, and again, I don't think it impacted you as much as it did me, was Ahsoka disarms her, puts the lightsaber to her throat, and says, "Where's your master?" So, right off the bat, I wasn't even thinking anyone other than Gideon. I'm thinking Gideon. I'm thinking, she's after the Darksaber also. And she's like, "Oh, I'll never tell you." And she says, "Tell me, where is he?" And then she says the magical words, "Grand Master Thrawn." And I almost shit myself. I was like, no freaking way. I said, now they're going to go that route. And then anyone who doesn't know, Grand Master Thrawn
Grand Admiral.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Grand Admiral Thrawn. He was introduced in Rebels for the new people. For people like me, he was introduced back in 1992 in the very first novel written after Return of the Jedi, which is now considered Legends.
Yeah.
He was the villain in the first trilogy of books that took place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And he was a nasty, nasty guy. He took over the Imperial Remnants. He was he found a clone of a Jedi who would use. He found this animal that could disrupt the Force. Jedi could use the Force against him. He'd wear it wherever he went. So, it was pretty awesome. and he was known as a strategist, like a master strategist. Like he could get out of anything, do anything. Reintroducing Rebels, like I said. So I said, for some people, he's like, oh, that's the guy from Rebels. Like for me, this is 1992. I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna get Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
So Ed, now I said you didn't go back to 92, but what did you think of that reference?
I mean, I heard the name around, so I recognize the name. Again, I didn't know that much about the character at the time, but started watching some YouTube video dives, and I've already committed. So I'm in with. I'm gonna watch Clone Wars. I'm gonna watch Rebels. I'll get caught up at some point. But I thought I knew it was a big deal. Obviously, I just don't know that much about the character. But from some of my reading, apparently, right, and this is where I'll throw it in there. Apparently, the HK 87s that were in there that were protecting the magistrate.
Yeah, markings.
The markings apparently were for the 7th Fleet of the Imperial Navy, which is also AKA Thrawn's fleet. So, for someone, I didn't know what the markings meant at the time, so I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. There's something there.
I didn't put it together. I read that afterwards too. I didn't put that together either right away. But yeah, Grand Admiral Thrawn was kind of like the Emperor kind of sent him off to do nasty stuff in really nasty sections of the galaxy.
Okay.
So that's why he was supposedly always gone and never seen, and that was the excuse for him being gone. And once the Death Star and the Emperor died, that's when he came back and took control of what was left. And he gave them a big, huge problem for a while there. In the books, in Legends, which doesn't, he was actually killed by his own bodyguard. His own bodyguard, their species, I forget, I remember those. I read those books a long time ago. But their species was actually kind of owed Princess Leia for something. And he ended up turning on Thrawn for Leia. Became Leia's bodyguard.
Oh, wow.
But he ended up stabbing Thrawn and killing him. And that was the end of him. But he was a great, phenomenal character. I was glad when they brought him into Rebels. I'm glad they brought him into, the new canon. Because it's really a waste. There's so many characters in Legends, which is why someone like me gets mad at the new canon that they wasted. But seem to be making up for it.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, apparently Dave Filoni and them, they're cherry picking stuff from Legends apparently and choosing what they want to bring in. So maybe over time, all the cool stuff from Legends are going to be brought into official canon now, which would be pretty sick. And for fans like myself, this is new territory. So I've only heard names again by conversations with you and stuff, and things like that. But now you're actually seeing it, so which is pretty cool.
Yeah, which is absolutely, it's insane to think about where they're going with this. And now the big rumor is, will Ahsoka get her own show? So what she's been doing for the past how many years? And then you're talking about all these stuff coming out of this one show, which we got Obi-Wan coming, we got Cassian coming, we got who knows what else is coming.
All right, so I was going to ask you then. So I mean, I know we got a little bit more of the episode to go, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. It looks like this is going to be a spin-off show, or it could be the potential for one there with Ahsoka and maybe in Bo-Katan. I know wasn't there rumors about a female-led show that was, so could that just be what it is? I mean, could it be Ahsoka and Bo-Katan, like Starsky and Hutch style? Are they just kind of like they're just going through busting ass everywhere?
If that's the case, that's phenomenal. Because I also heard, again, it was just a rumor today. Excuse me, everybody. They're gonna, unless it might be an episode on the Mandalorian, though. We might see an episode of what she did, where Ahsoka went after she left the Jedi Order or something like that. After like the last time she was seen or something like that, after Rebels.
Yeah,
and I mean that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gil, me too. I wasn't expecting Thrawn right after bat. It didn't even pop in my head that it could actually be Thrawn. That's why it was such a huge deal when I heard it. And I heard it at like 3:30 in the morning, 3:40, and I was like, holy shit. keep rewinding this stuff. I don't know, Tom, because Kenobi is going to take place way back in the day. Kenobi's going to be between episode 3 and 4. So
Yeah,
I don't
kinda
I don't know if Thrawn's going to be. I mean, he's probably alive because he's he's a different species. He can age whatever. But I don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, as I said, so my
You're right. I got my timelines mixed up. Yeah, that happens. It happens when you have different canons and different shows. It happens. Trust me. I do it all the time too. Can't stop joking. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to the episode real quick, and then we'll answer. We'll do questions. They win. They win the big day. They're back in the woods, and she finally says, "Listen, I'm not training him. He has too dark. He's formed too big of an attachment to you." Oh, we've got about the best part, though. I'm sorry. One of the cutest part, I should say, when she tests him with the rock, and he ignores her completely. But then he whips out the knob from the controller and says, "Grogu, do you want this?" And whoop,
yeah, we went past that. Yeah,
took it right away, and he was all happy, like a proud dad. As much as Mando doesn't want to admit it, he's got himself an attack. He's formed an attachment that he's not going to be able to break right away. And I can tell you something right now off the bat, Ed. I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm predicting a very bad ending
for Grogu.
Yes.
No,
I'm picturing it. I don't know why.
I can't have that happen. I would be pretty pissed off. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna have to be Grogu, or we're gonna get Ahsoka going. One of them's gonna go down, I think. As far as getting the cloning under control, for whether it be Snoke or the Emperor or whatever was going to happen, I think one of them's going down. I don't know why I have that feeling.
Okay.
The show's been, the show's been too. I'll put it to wrestling terms, face orientated so far. The heels really haven't gotten a good victory yet, and I have a feeling it's going to happen, and it's going to be this guy.
I
hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. I honestly think, and this, I know we just talked about the idea of like an awesome spin-off series with the two of them. I think I mentioned it last episode. It could be Ahsoka. She might be the one to sacrifice herself at some point, but that also doesn't have to mean now. It could be 4 seasons from now. It could be who knows down the line. Because I don't think that's going to be wrapped up like this season or next season. I think that's going to still take some time to play out. Well, we didn't mention Grogu in the beginning of the episode was starting to mess with the knob again. He used the Force to steal shit again as he was unscrewing the knob because he wanted to get to it, and Mando kept on telling him no. And that's why Mando took the knob away from him, had it in his pocket, and then later on, during the training when Ahsoka's trying to test him, says, "Give me the rock here, take the rock, send it back." He doesn't want to do it. He's being stubborn. And then he decides, okay, let me pull out the knob that he wants. And then he uses the Force to take the knob right away. So we kind of find out a little bit about Grogu there, that he's been maybe playing it off a little bit, where he understands more than he's letting on. He's not just, he
took down a mudhorn. He took down a big-ass animal. So I don't know about hiding it, but he's definitely powerful. And the big name drop, of course, we got was Yoda. He says she only knew one of the of his species, and that was Master Yoda. Which I guess I don't know what I got to do my research. What happened to Yaddle?
Well, she didn't even mention Yaddle because she also says I've only seen 2 like him, and mentions Grogu, and then name drops Yoda, which was pretty sick, and then no Yaddle.
Say what? No throne will be posed.
I think Gil is answering Tommy's question on that chat board.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a great little scene too. You can see how Amanda's getting. You're gonna poop on my theory. Honestly, you're going too many kids watching. I can see some of the fringe characters going. Cara doing Apollo Creed.
I just love the fact he's gonna call Apollo Creed. I know we all think it.
It's not Gina Carano, and it's Cara Dune, but it's Apollo Creed.
That's great.
Yeah, Grief Karga.
I'm with Tommy on this though. I think for Grogu, there's too much marketing. There's too much of this going around for Disney to be like. I mean, Raven right behind me over there. Like,
yeah, but picture it: Blue Ghost Grogu.
Nah, there's too many of this. Come on, how many baby cute shots we're getting now? Like, I don't know. I don't see it.
Look, you can't. You have to have an Empire Strikes Back every now and then.
You can't keep
having Return of the Jedis.
I think Ahsoka goes.
with the teddy bear picnic. You can't have every episode end that way.
Ahsoka goes before Grogu. I will say that right now.
Probably, but I'm
Even
just
though
saying,
she's a fan favorite.
What a great twist that would be.
It would be a huge twist.
Yeah. A lot of people would be upset. Angie would probably cry.
She would lose her mind. She would lose her mind. I would be upset. I'm not gonna lie, but I agree. There needs to be an Empire Strikes Back thing at some point. But I think it would be Ahsoka before Grogu goes, because I think Grogu's almost basically the co-star of the show, with Mando. So I think he's too entrenched. He's
Hutch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or Ponch or John or whatever you want to call him.
That's true.
So the episode pretty much ends with, again, here we go again. I laugh every time, though. It's like, you need to take him. She's like, I can't take him. I can't train him. This is what you can do. Take him to this planet now. Here we go again. Typhoon. I forgot the name of that planet, too. I didn't do my research that much this week. I was kind of out of it.
It's coming now. I've got my tidbit for you.
You got it.
I want to see your brain process it. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just take him to this planet, put him on this giant rock, and have him reach out for the Force. If someone senses it, maybe a Jedi will come find him and come take him and train him. So it's like, ooh, how many? Like I said, how many are actually out there? Who's going to feel them? And will Luke feel it? Will Ezra come? Are the Jedi we don't even they're going to bring in that we don't even know about, that we didn't see die on screen? Because if you didn't die on screen, you're not dead. That's just movie 101. If we didn't see you die, you're alive. And sometimes we see you die and you're still alive. Science fiction, people. Anything can happen.
Palpatine.
Yep, Gil, we got on that one. We got on that one.
So then you've queued it up in a way where it's like, all right, so she mentions that's where the episode ends.
Everyone's against me and my Grogu.
No, there's no killing of Grogu.
Now you're going down, Grogu. I'm telling you.
So I guess that leads into question one was, all right, so which Jedi do we think are reaching out to him? Like, I don't think we're gonna get a Luke appearance or cameo in the show. I mean, I would be kind of shocked if that's the case, but who knows? Because it seems like all bets are off lately with there's no holding back.
I would be shocked, but then again, I wouldn't, because no matter what he says publicly, he says both publicly. Mark Hamill's been very 50-50 with this trilogy, with the sequel trilogy. He's not happy the way Luke turned out. So for him to do a de-aging thing, or like everyone's talking about Sebastian Stan.
He does look like him.
He does look exactly like him. I'm not going to lie. Or have Sebastian Stan jump in there, or I said have Hamill de-aged, one or the other. I would not be shocked at all, because I think Mark Hamill, again, just like me, I said 1,000 times, doesn't like what Luke became in his direction that happened in the sequel trilogy. Mm-hmm. Would he want to do that war one more time? I would say yes. And I would not put against him. But again, having Luke be the one, I know it says, Gil says he thinks Luke's the only one. I don't think so. For the one second, like say, we have Ezra out there, and we have Jedi out there we don't even know. Kanan, don't forget Kanan from Rebels before he spoiler alert, he's gone. But
I read it already.
He was another Jedi out there. We don't know who's out there. We don't know who escaped. We don't know who survived Order 66. So I'd be shocked to see who actually shows up.
Yeah,
Luke,
so I think
Luke would be nice.
Yes.
I said I doubt it, but I wouldn't be shocked, strictly based on Mark Hamill's disappointment with Luke's character in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe Mark Hamill's like, hey, listen, this is my chance to go ahead. What was it? The puppeteer? Yeah, I'm sure there will be. So does Mark Hamill say, hey, listen, this is my chance to play Luke again and play him like how I've seen him and how I like him, and to kind of give kind of like a blessing to the Mandalorian and stuff like that? Because it won't be the Luke that we saw in the sequel trilogy, because this is 30 years earlier, or 25 years earlier.
This is, not even 30-year-old Luke yet.
Yeah, I honestly think it would be Mark Hamill de-aged over Sebastian Stan or like someone else. That's my gut feeling of that. I mean, it is, Kanan
Oh, I
is
know.
dead.
I mentioned it. I just didn't want to say it out loud because wasn't giving spoilers out. Well, I meant why I brought up Kanan was because, like I said, we don't know who's out there and who survived. Also, we don't know. Yeah, Ezra's out there. None reason with Thrawn, which I said, but Thrawn's back, so Ezra's probably going to come back. So it's crazy. He's dead.
Well, didn't he get like really thrown out the window?
I think he's very dead. I know people are saying he's not dead. I think the dude's dead.
I'm not going to be upset if they get Sam Jackson to come back as Mace Windu at all, but
he's going to look like Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One if he's back. The dude got electrocuted and tossed out a window.
I mean, he could look like a badass Mace Windu like right now. But my as much as we were talking about the possibilities of Luke showing up, my guesses would be Ezra Bridger, who I did read about, so I know of I know he was in Rebels and stuff, and what Gil was talking about there too. I did see that was part of the explanation when I was watching some stuff about Thrawn, is that they disappeared kind of like towards the end of Rebels, so we didn't know what happened to them. But you're right, with Thrawn back, then Ezra Bridger would be back. My guess is that this is where you bring into a live action Ezra Bridger, and that's a way to get him and introduce him in. Mm-hmm. So that's my guess, is that's how you continue pulling from the animated stuff into the live action.
Or they might just want to expand the universe because that's the one thing I don't like. This one's related to this one and this one's related. No, man, it's a big galaxy out there. Yeah. It's a whole universe of characters. Like I said, I would rather see a new Jedi be introduced than come to see find Grogu. Maybe even he's not even a real Jedi. Maybe he's a Sith, like an undercover bad guy, and he turns out to be like he tries to take Grogu away from the Mandalorian, and that's a whole thing. Ahsoka's got to get involved in that. It's like that's the kind of shit that I want to see.
There's so many possibilities. Right now, with this show and the way that they've expanded the universe, just off the show, the possibilities are endless right now. From week to week, it's like bang, bang, bang. Like, who the heck knows? They could be pulling from Legends. They're pulling from the animated stuff. Like, nothing is off limits, including one thing that I was going to bring to you now. And I would like to. This is something that's there. So, could there be hints of a Darth Raven appearance? Now listen. Mm-hmm. He developed apparently the HK-47 assassin models, as which are a precursor to the HK-87 models, assassin droid models that we got in this episode. So, is that something that's there that could be, could that be a little bit of a hint that he exists and that he's there? And also, from what I understand, didn't Darth Raven also have like some sort of like didn't he go after Typhon didn't he go after the Jedi on the planet Typhon at some point in the book?
Is an old Jedi stronghold or something like that.
Yeah, Jedi homeworld. If I understand that's kind of like their Exegol or whatever it is.
Yeah, Darth Raven though, I don't know because he's more Old Republic stuff. I thought if we were going to get him, I would think we were going to get him in the new movies. If they did, like I said, that war. But again, how old could he possibly? Star Wars. You don't know.
Yeah.
Chewie's 800. Chewie's 300. Yoda's 900. Anybody can be anybody. Exactly. As far as I don't know if they're going to go the Sith route yet, though.
It was just something that I read that was out there. That was a tidbit that was in there, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting, and that's another name that I've heard thrown around by you and Francisco and stuff like that in the past. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's a hint.
That's true.
Yes.
He's got himself a nice dark saber now. Nice. Who took one of those in the window? He just had to force his way to safety now. Exactly. No, I don't think so. I think he took a. I don't see him landing safely, but like you said, we didn't see him die on screen. He could be alive.
Yeah.
But I just want a good explanation of where he's been all these years. That's all I want to know. You give me a good explanation, I'll take anybody back. Anybody can come back to life with a good explanation.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Or sometimes with no explanation or a very vague explanation, as you saw with the Emperor.
Yeah, it's not with the Emperor. Well, his essence, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Went to Exegol and took him all that. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get
to whatever. Listen, we might be getting more. We talked about this. This whole what Moff Gideon is behind and apparently Grand Admiral Thrawn and everything like that could lead us to more of an explanation of exactly. It might smooth over the Palpatine stuff for Rise of Skywalker and make it a little bit more to drink in. Then, I mean,
it should be nice.
Yeah, it could be. I know we were just kind of like, whatever, we'll run with it. We didn't love the idea, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, as far as who is going to come, I don't know whether any Jedi will show up. I don't. Mike, we might get like a cameo of Luke, like the back of his head reacting to something, or maybe feeling it in the Force, or even Princess Leia. You don't know. We don't know.
I'm going to say that one I think is off the table because I considered that for a second too, but I think that one might be. I don't know if we're getting any more like CGI. Leia.
No, the daughter would play her.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be any disrespectful or anything like that.
No,
the daughter was willing to play her. Daughter did play her actually. Her motion capture.
Yeah, when they were training in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, so I mean that was cool. I don't know, man. This is one of those shows, and I love it for it. We don't know. I don't know where it's going. Everyone's got their theory. I don't know. I just can't. I'm happy getting surprised every week.
Yeah, and Gail mentioned that like that tracker is on the Razor Crest, so like we got to assume that Moff Gideon is hot on his tails of exactly like it. I mean, but he wants Ahsoka Tano also. So
yeah, because of Moff Gideon, did they accidentally reveal to Moff Gideon that where Ahsoka is?
Exactly.
We got to find that out too now.
And we don't know what Bo-Katan's doing right now. So I mean, listen, the finale could be some really crazy. Bonkers. I've seen some theories out there that I don't know if they would just go for the whole thing in the finale of this, but I mean, could we be getting some like mini Avengers Endgame at the end of it where everyone's just showing up like Mando's fighting side by side with Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano and Grogu and Ezra Bridger and all this other crap? I'm like, who the hell knows?
But we only got 3 more to go. And that's depressing. But I'm sure it'll get good. I'm sure that means it's going to be all good ones.
Yeah.
No more frog women with their babies. I hope it's all action-packed. Like I said, because these episodes have been absolutely fantastic.
I haven't seen anything anywhere that revealed the episode because I know we knew Chapter 13 was called The Jedi ahead of time. So we were going to be pretty shocked if it wasn't Ahsoka now. But I have not seen the title for 14 yet, so where
it's
this
not
is
out yet.
Going? Yeah.
I always look at IMDb; it's not out yet.
Okay,
but yeah, it says 3 more episodes to go. So yeah, shit's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up, and it's gonna be awesome. Like I said, as far as you can't guess with this show, which I'm enjoying. As much as I don't care about spoilers, I'm enjoying not knowing what the hell's going on because everything is just holy shit, really, holy shit, really, holy shit, really. So, and that's good.
Yeah,
I still think Grogu's going down, but that's just me.
All right, so your bet is that he's going down by the end of the season?
No, not season.
Okay. In the long run,
in the long run, by the series, I'm saying by the series.
Okay, all right. So that could be
unless he's on Dagobah, unless he's living on Dagobah, took over Yoda's hut somewhere. I don't know.
That would be pretty cool. Kind of think about it.
But how come he didn't pop out during the New War with the First Order? That's got to be very careful when you let all these Jedi live. How come they didn't come out of hiding or whatever? Especially with Luke starting a new temple, you would think some of these Jedi would come out of hiding.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this show is gonna have to get all the weight of explaining all of that. That's why I think there's got to be spin-off shows. Now, the more I'm thinking about it after I've said it, I really do want this, Ahsoka and Bo-Katan buddy cop show. Yeah, I want that to happen. Like, I want that to be the female-led show. I want them to announce it like at the end of the season, and boom, we get that one going too.
Well, that's first. It's Obi-Wan's first, right, or is it Cassian?
I thought
Obi-Wan first.
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan was first, and then Cassian Andor, and then
I think by the end of the month we're gonna have an Obi-Wan trailer. I think we're gonna have a trailer to go with the season finale of Mandalorian.
Is Obi-Wan due out in 2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're shooting. They're definitely shooting because I saw. I've been watching Ewan McGregor's Twitter and that, and he wrote, Like, oh, he's like back in my old clothes, or oh, hey, it still fits. Like he's writing stupid stuff like that, or
I gotta go follow. Now I'm gonna go follow him now because
yeah,
I don't think I do.
He's been making comments along those lines.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's going to be 2021.
That's definitely got to happen. We're gonna get so much shit next year between movies and shows and everything like that of all the stuff that was kind of like put off and delayed. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be an overload.
It's gonna be an overdose. Yeah. An overdose of stuff. Well, now we're getting Wonder Woman for free, and we're getting King Kong and Godzilla for free.
That's not official yet, but that's what it looks like. My guess is that's probably going to be. I know the report was Netflix was trying to offer Legendary. Was it like 200 million or something like that for it? And then HBO Max is like, we have a good relationship with them. We're gonna block that deal. Calm down. You're putting that shit on a streamer. We're getting that thing.
You know what we should do? We should rent out the AMC theater for $99. Get enough people so we can spread out, but we can watch the movie on the big screen.
That's really not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, AMC is renting out their theaters for $100.
Yeah, we'd have to go to Connecticut or Jersey.
Whether or not they're showing new movies, I don't know. I'm assuming they are.
I don't know. It's a good question. I didn't look into that. Would we go back to that theater that looked like it was out of Halloween 3?
Yeah, why not?
We went to see Empire Strikes Back.
But imagine having that whole theater to ourselves.
Oh, it'd be sick.
You know what I'm saying? Just us, our friends, and we don't have to worry about nothing. Disinfected ourselves and sit there and enjoy it. And I said we could watch. I don't want to watch Wonder Woman. I'll watch at home. I don't want to watch Godzilla vs. King Kong in my house. I got to watch that in the IMAX the first time.
Well, me and you are all about the IMAX at the big monster movies. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, well, whatever. We'll see. Hopefully this shit will be ending by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Let's go Operation, what is it called? Warp Speed? The friggin' vaccinations? Let's do this.
I just noticed in the comment section, Hanson just jumped on here to write that comment and went back to watching the show.
Probably. He thinks the knob is more than just food. I think it's just a little kid wanting to play with the toy that he's not supposed to play with.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Marvel right now with this Santa pillow that Angie put out. Like she's like obsessed with going to eat the thing.
There you go. Like, so you're not supposed to play with it. That's the one thing they want.
Yep.
That's just the way it goes. I think that's pretty much anything else that we didn't mention. I don't think so.
No, I think we've laid out some pretty cool, some wild theories, perhaps. I mean, well, actually, I got a question for you. So you know more of obviously of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Who would do you have anyone in mind to play him?
Yes, but he won't do it.
Hugo Weaving?
Agent Smith himself.
Oh wow, we had it at we were thinking the same type of thing.
But he won't do it. He's a snob all of a sudden. Oh, I don't do those big franchises anymore. Blah blah blah. But I think Hugo Weaving would be perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
That's
other than that, oh my god, I'd have to really think about it. Especially if they went younger. If they went younger.
Can't say Michael Ironside.
No, he's too old. I don't know. But he's the first person I thought of.
Okay.
It's Hugo Weaving. Agent Smith himself.
Big franchise, but you can pitch it to him this is a TV show, though. So
That's
maybe
true.
It's not as grandiose as he's afraid of. What the hell has Hugo Weaving been doing anyway? Come on.
Still, it's the Star Wars saga. It's the Star Wars franchise.
Come on.
He might not want to get involved.
Come on. He can get in there. Yeah, I don't know enough about the kind of think of someone. I don't know if someone whoever's watching has got anyone in mind for that knows about Grand Admiral Thrawn, but that's something we can think about for next week.
He's quiet. He's calculating. He's cool. He's doesn't get excited. Like he's not a screamer, like that kind of guy. He's subdued, but he's scary as shit. Like you believe what he's going to say.
Well, Michael Shannon.
Yeah, that's possible. That's a good possibility, Michael Shannon. That could work.
Just by your description of the character, he has that like intimidating look when he's not screaming, about finding Kal-El and screaming briefly, but he can do the screaming if he needs to. But like quiet, calculating, I can see that.
Man, that's a good choice.
If Sam watches this, he's gonna scream hell no because he hates Michael Shannon.
Oh well, guys along those lines would be perfect for him. But again, my first thought was always Hugo Weaving would be a perfect on screen. But yeah, no, but I like Michael Shannon too. That could probably work. That's the kind of guy you need. You need to be scared of the guy without him making you scared. Like he's just a scary, like this dude will kill you.
Like an intimidating presence.
Yes.
Okay.
He walks on the bridge of a Star Destroyer, you're like, oh shit. Like, someone's in trouble.
Okay.
That kind of thing. He's also very, I said very calm, very cool. Doesn't worry.
Matthew McConaughey?
No, too much, too laid back.
All right.
Too laid back. He ain't that laid back. Yeah, but no, I like Michael Shannon. That'd be good. Hugo Weaving on Michael Shannon would probably be the first two I think of. I might come up with someone else.
Is there anyone that's been cast in this season prior that has not made an appearance yet? Maybe that's who's playing him, if we do see him this season.
Gotta be honest, dude. I'd forget everyone.
I forgot Michael Biehn was in this, and I can't forget a lot of things with Michael Biehn. I love him.
Yeah, I forget all the rumors, all the things. I said my biggest thing was Will Rosario Dawson be playing Ahsoka, and it came true.
Yes.
So it's like, holy shit, really? Like this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like I forgot about Timothy Olyphant until I saw him. Mm-hmm. I forgot about I don't know. I just kind of put it all in the back of my mind. It's like everything's like brand new now. Okay. Who's gonna? That's a good question. I'm gonna think about it. I'll think about who I have for next week. I'll see if I can go with my top 5 Grand Album Thrawns.
Okay.
Then again, he's probably already been shot and he's probably already done already. But we'll see.
If we see him this season, maybe we see him at the very in a post-credit scene at the end of the season after we have my Avengers Endgame type story where you got Timothy Olyphant and Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano and everyone else and their mother that we've met through the season.
But if he pops up at this one, I think it's going to be more leading into an Ahsoka spinoff show. Tommy, see you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Tommy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more leading towards that spinoff show.
Maybe Cara Dune joins that buddy cop thing and they do a Charlie's Angels type story.
That could work too. She has the badge.
The three of them. She has
the New Republic badge now. So you can flash that shit all over the galaxy.
Super badass. I don't know if Grief Karga could possibly be Charlie in that scenario, but
we could be. That would actually work.
It was a wild
Good morning,
show.
Angels. Good morning, Angels.
It's cooking in here, yeah.
So I guess that's it for this week. Next week, episode 14 for Mando Monday. We might have some baseball news too. We might not.
Hopefully.
Depends on free agency. Now that Thanksgiving's over, usually around Christmas time we get some good leeway, right? Because
the winter meetings. The winter meetings
around Christmas. When's the winter meetings?
Winter meetings, I didn't see when it is for this year, but it's usually within the next week or two. So hopefully before we wrap up the season of Mando, that we have some big Yankees signings and some big Yankees news to report. Hopefully, waiting on it very, very patiently. Trust me.
Yeah, I know it's been crazy. All right, so Eddie, got any final remarks? Any last mentions?
I spilled it all out, man. I'm still got that show cooking in my mind. That's forming that So it's playing. It's already started.
The Angels, the Star Wars Angels. Hey, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if what's his name gets his own show. The blue dude, which he gets his own show. He could be. Yeah. Why not? He could be a bartender somewhere, like a Cheers type show in the cantina. I'd watch them all. I'd watch every show they put out. I don't even care anymore. So, all right, that'll wrap us up for this week. Next week, episode 14. I can't even predict what's going to be on it. It's just an unpredictable show, which is what I absolutely love. So, yeah, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we'll have some baseball news. This is the way.
This is the way.